So we've all been there. It's getting late at night, and you have been staring at your computer screen for hours, and your brain is turning into mush. You have a B-roll clip that you just can't remember using. I have personally found myself scrubbing through a timeline to see if I did or did not use a clip. But hey, there's a better way. Select your sequence and then go up to Edit, Find. Of course, the shortcut key is Command and F. A window pops up and gives you the option of looking for unused or used media. If you have a bunch of sequences in your project and only want to search this one, make sure the In Selected Sequences is selected. Click on Find All, and it looks like I have plenty of unused clips to choose from. Oh, sweet, I needed that one. Rendering clips is just part of editing. However, sometimes it can be really annoying. For example, I have two photos that I keyframed moves on. If I click around, you can get the idea of how I animated them. But in order to watch my animation to make sure they look right, I have to render the first photo. Or do I? If you hit the Option and P keys, it will play the timeline without rendering. If you don't want to remember the shortcut keys Option and P, then you can do it like so. One thing to keep in mind, if I had audio, you would not hear it. Also, the more complex the unrendered clip, the slower it plays back. But you have to admit, that's an awesome feature. Alright, here's another option. Click here and choose Unlimited RT. Notice that the red bar disappeared, and we can now play the clip without rendering, and we can hear audio, if there was some. This plays as many frames as possible, but if you still are not getting good enough playback, then change the video playback quality and playback frame rate to dynamic. By the way, the orange bar means Final Cut Pro may drop frames during real-time playback. Okay, let's go back to Safe RT. Here we have a 2-for-1 tip. By default, all of your clips in the browser have this icon and their name. When you are working with a lot of B-roll, it can be nice to see a thumbnail of each clip. There are different ways to do this, and here's one of them. Right-click on one of these words. I'll right-click on Duration and choose Show Thumbnail. Take a look at that. We have the name and the thumbnail. The thumbnail is the first frame of every clip. If you want to view the clip, you need to double-click on it to watch it in the viewer, to realize that this is the clip where the camera shakes all over the place until it lands on its subject matter. Another way to preview the clip is to left-click on the thumbnail. While holding down the left mouse button, move the mouse left or right. Yep, this is a better representation of the clip. As a matter of fact, if you hold down the control button when you release the mouse button, it will change the thumbnail to the frame you prefer. Take a look at this example. I have a clip duplicated multiple times. As you can see, the top clip has a mask on it, so I can blur a section of the image. Then I did something similar with the middle clip. What if I wanted to color correct the 3 clips or add a filter? I would have to add the same filter to all 3 clips, separately, which would add unnecessary work, especially if I ended up making a change to one of the filters. To get around it, we could nest these 3 clips so they become one. This, of course, is one of many reasons to use the nest feature. To nest our 3 clips together, select them. Go to Sequence, Nest Items. That little symbol represents the Option key, so the shortcut keys are Option and C. A dialog box will appear. I always like to have the word Nest on the end of the name so I don't confuse it with my other sequences in the bin. Click on OK, and all of our layers collapse into a single layer. For my purposes, all I have to do is add the color correction filter, and it will treat our 3 clips like they are one. By the way, If you want to make changes to any of the clips inside the nest, just double-click on it, and there they are. Generating text seems to be a constant task. Getting to the text generator is time-consuming. Clicking here, then down here, and then going back up to here. Using shortcut keys will save you a ton of time, especially if you're doing this on a daily basis. Hit the Ctrl and X keys to open up the text generator in the viewer. If you prefer more options than the text generator offers, then hit the Option, Ctrl, and X keys to open up the Boris Title 3D generator. Alright, and now, time for my shameless plug. If you want even more options for altering your text, I recommend Motion. If you have never used Motion, or if you use it every day, you need to check out my kinetic typography tutorial here on Creative Cow. You'll learn how to do some cool stuff and see Motion in action. This has been Stephen Smith, and thanks for checking out my tutorial.